Trish Brazel McIsaac, and I'm going to share with you a recipe of Mom's and a little story that goes with it. Whenever there was a snow day, and of course we were all locked up inside the lighthouse, and couldn't get out because of the wind and the snow, Mom would decide to make tea biscuits, or sometimes tea biscuits, sometimes raisin buns, and sometimes molasses buns. And it seemed like every time she made the molasses buns, the storm just got worse. To the point where Dad would always make a comment that she's making storm buns. And so our molasses buns became storm buns. So the recipe I'm sharing with you, I'm lovingly calling it Edie's Storm Buns. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you get a chance to try it yourself. So I looked through all of Mom's old cookbooks, and I found this really old Cream of the West cookbook. It wasn't in there. There was one, but it wasn't that one. It was the pork buns with molasses. But I did find one that she had written out, and it's, I'll type it up and include it in the comments below this video. This is called Thick Molasses Buns, but I've written on Edie's Storm Buns. And it basically calls for cooking oil, milk, of course, blackstrap molasses, sugar, salt, flour, baking powder, and of course, that's it, really. And an egg, 1 egg. So I've got everything all mixed up here in the bowl, all the liquid ingredients already mixed up. So now that this is all stirred up and mixed, I'm going to add it to the flour. That's all that's in here is the flour. And pour it all in there. And then mix it up with the mixer. And hopefully they turn out as good as Mom's, but hopefully we don't get a storm. Oh, it smells delicious. Very dry. Looks a bit like brown cement. So once it's all mixed up, she says here to roll it out into a 1/4 inch thick on a floured board and surface, and bake in bun pan, or roll them out. And she used to cut it with a small juice glass. So I have a cutter that I'm going to use. So, taking a disc of dough and flattened it out on a floured board and a floured rolling pin. So you roll it out to about 1/4 inch thick. Now Mom would have used a small juice glass. Nothing more fun than watching Mom make these while the wind and the snow is raging and howling outside. Sometimes it was so loud, and especially if there was like a big sea on, you could actually feel the house shake. And of course, we were one of the lucky few, because the lighthouse had its own generator. And so if we ever had a power failure, it didn't matter, because once the generator on, we had electricity. And so we were able to do all these things during stormy weather. My kitchen smells lovely right now, especially with baking these storm buns. Oh, what a nice smell. Okay, so I'm not a cook by any means, but I'll have to share something. It was kind of like an experiment. This was the first batch. and they didn't rise very much, and they are rock hard. They probably would be really good for dunking in milk or tea or coffee. They smell good, but they're really hard. Oops. So what I did was I took the leftover dough that I froze, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to cut them as at 1/4, as I said in Mom's instructions. I cut them instead at 1/2 inch. But what I did, because they were frozen, it kind of changed the texture a little bit. So you can see they are nice and high, and they're a lighter color in comparison to these. Same batch of cookies, but just different. And when you open them up, they're very soft inside, kind of crusty on the outside, but very soft. Oh. They smell like Mom's kitchen. They'd be really good with some nice butter and a cup of tea. So I hope you give this a try, and I hope, like I said before, it doesn't bring a storm on. But if it does, enjoy it. Nothing like a good storm.